Afternoon, everyone. Bit of a gloomy day in Perth today. It actually rained yesterday, which is pretty unusual for mid-November, and I can just starting to hear a bit of thunder as well. And there was a bit yesterday afternoon with the rain as well, bit of thunder, but had some high winds as well, so everything was all packed away as usual. So I'm going to keep going with this Sauna speaker system today. Actually, I'll better get these before it rains again, because it looks like it might come down. This towel was dry and then it got wet again. Yeah, there's definitely, don't know if you can hear it, bit of thunder just coming from over there. Okay, yeah, so I went to J-Car over the weekend. Just got this new tripod too, so bear with us, we'll figure it out. See everything there? Yep. So I got some speaker wire. That should be heaps for what I'm going to be doing. There's definitely no need for like that stuff, so that's all good. Actually, I need a measure tape because I've got to measure up to make these boxes as well. So I'll have to go and get that. Anyway, so we'll bring that with us. We'll bring the solder. That soldering iron can stay here because I've got an electric one in the shed. Bring the wire strippers, and we need them. So they're going to go on the boxes. I also wired in this switch here. You can see it on the edge of the screen there. So that turns this radio on and off, so it's not sitting on all the time or in standby, whatever it is. Alright, yeah, so I'll just got to measure. I want to come out maybe an inch or so away from each side to make the box and the height. Make two of them identical. Put the things for the speaker wires. That's about it. That's all we're gonna do. And then just rewire a couple things here, and that's it. So we'll get that done before the boss gets home. That way we're all ready to go. So yeah, that's the current setup at the moment. So you can see the switch there. So I'm also, while I'm at it, I'm going to measure up for a panel that's going to go, probably screw it to this piece of wood in here, and then it'll mount this radio so it's not flopping about, so it's actually got somewhere to sit nicely. But yeah, we'll get the speaker boxes done first. I don't know if that's going to happen today, but we'll see. It's just started raining as well, and that thunder hasn't let up. So I've got so that's for one box, that's for the other box, that's for one box, and that's for the other box. And I'm not going to make the lids yet, because I always stuff up when I make a box, because you actually got to include the thickness depending on how you join them together. So I'm going to cut all the sides, lay them up, measure it, because it's going to be, this is 10mm thick, this MDF, so the lid actually has to be 280 by 170 if you join them that way, or it's got to be 260 by 190, it just depends. So yeah, or you can make it 260 by 170 for the lid, but then your sides will have to be longer, something like that. So I'm just going to I've made it quite big, so that it's not like we're tight for 10mm of space. I've probably made the boxes 20-30mm bigger than what they actually have to be. You don't want them exactly the same size as the speaker, and a bit of headroom for the speaker as well. So you can go into calculations if you want to, and type in the specs of your speaker into a program on the computer, on the internet, and it'll spit out the exact volume that you need. Yeah, not for a sauna. Should be sweet. So yeah, I'll just get into cutting these up and laying them out, and then we'll measure for the lid, cut two lids, and start gluing and nailing them together. Okay, so there's one done. Easy as, just glue it. I've decided to go, it doesn't matter, I just went and checked it, but I've got plenty of room, so measure tape. So even though I measured 260 by 170, we are at now 190, like what I was saying. Yeah, 190ish, and 260 hasn't changed. So I've made it a little bit wider. So that's the dimensions for the lid now, and the lid will just go straight down to that. I've just got to sand these down a bit. The way I measured it is how I had it all set out. That's not how you want to do it. You want to cut, measure, or trace one side panel out, cut it, then do another one, because unless your pen is the exact same blade width, then you're okay, but mine's not. So that's why you get a little bit of this unevenly things, but for what it is, plenty. So I'll keep going, I'll make the next one. So left speaker, in, arrow in, matches up like that. That's enough of that. So arrow. If you're really good at making square boxes, you don't need to do that. And that should do it for the nail gun. That storm's really coming in now. It's starting to rain, but not a lot. So if you're really keen, if you're making proper speaker boxes, I would cork or silicone all your joins, but not necessary. Well, maybe for that joint it is. Yeah, I might do it. I might do it. I think she's done. No more gaps. That's better. Really ain't. Oh, don't tell me this is gone as well. There we go. There we go, that's better. A little bit
it's only a couple of the joins that need it actually. It's not even everywhere. It's just I'm not putting too much effort into making a square box. This will fix it. It's a bit nicer to use this. There's no more gaps as well than silicone. It's not as slimy and slippery all over the place. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. But that's it. So yeah, that's all we need to do. Do the next one. Go a little bit easier on this one because this one's actually quite tight. I don't know why, but I fluked this one. Except for that gap. Oh no, that was pen. That did pretty good on this one. Yeah, that thunder. Get a bit excited with thunder because we don't get a lot of it in Perth. Thunderstorms and lightning and pretty rare. Okay. Just run my finger around. That'll do it. Bit neater that one. Used a little bit less. But anyway, that's our boxes. So they're actually going to sit that way, like that. So now we need to cut a hole for the terminal. Alright, that was a ripper. This is probably the closest thunderstorm in 10-15 years, I reckon. That's we don't normally get them like this. That was a really good one. I'll hang about for the next one. They're about a minute apart at the moment. I should be right under my tin roof here. That was close though. Put the scissors away. That's right on top of us, and it's zero wind. You can see the trees there. It's not going anywhere fast. It's going to be around for a while, I'd say. Clouds are barely moving. And it's one thing that doesn't set my dogs off. I don't know what it is, but they're just not phased at all. They've never heard thunder this loud before, so I don't know what they're doing, but they're inside at the moment. But yeah, they haven't come out to see what all the fuss is about. I think it's going to hail. Yep. Here it comes. You can hear it hitting the tin. There's another little one. And then we should get another big one. It's definitely hailing. Tiny, tiny bits. That's it, we'll have to wait another 15 years for another good thunderstorm like that to come in. Oh well. Got a couple good cracks out of it. Anyway, so probably not going to be able to hear me now with this rain if it gets any worse, but all you got to do is drill 2 holes for that, and that goes in, screw it in, and you're done. But what I need to do first is solder some wires to each of them, and then they go to the speaker. So let's do that. I haven't even turned this on yet. Oh yeah, put the new light on, solder. So that's probably not doing a lot because of this. No, that's actually coming off. Yeah, I don't know how much of a good idea that was. I normally solder at 330. I don't know if that's correct. Just what works for me. I'm gonna need strippers, solder, a little bit of wire, your 2 terminals, where's the other one? 2 terminals, place them like that, and that's it. So just a length of wire, that's probably enough. Wow. I'll do it without talking because you're not going to be able to hear me, I don't think. Strip them. Actually, if we do it with the box, so negative, black, do positive first just because it's on that side. No need to heat shrink anything because it's definitely not touching anything. This is going to be tricky. Try and okay, so there's one done, like that, and then you got enough. I'll just put it so that the speaker terminals are there, but even if it was on that side, there's enough to go over there. Do the other one. So boom, boom. One thing I didn't check, I did check it, but I didn't check it right at the last minute. No, we're sweet. So you got the white trace on that wire, and that's negative. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you call that negative or positive, as long as you do it everywhere, because you don't, otherwise you're going to reverse polarity the speakers. So I always go trace negative, so that way when I connect this up to the speaker, trace is negative, and I don't have to recheck everything. So same deal, trace side, negative, like that. I always put solder on the wire, put solder on both things, what you're doing. That way it just makes it a lot easier. Otherwise you're trying to hold the wire, you're trying to hold the bit, this black bit, and you're trying to feed solder into it all at once, and it just gets too much. So we need it that way. I always do them because these are upside down, so that way when they are, you're pressing down and feeding in, not that way and trying to feed it up, and everything's just awkward. So that way, yep. So again, positive first. So that's easy because you're not connected to anything. Oh, this might work. No. Oh no, that's all right. Yeah. Normally the second one's hard. Okay. And that's all we got to do. Turn that off. I need to bring the solder, bring them, because we've got to go and solder up on top of the sauna now. So we'll bring all that with us. But first, before we do anything, let's do this. Already pre-drilled some holes. Oh, that's good. Oh well, that didn't work out. I must have had them the other way around. There we go. Put it in reverse and then put it in forwards, and in she goes. And I don't know how many of you have got an Azito brushless one. This thing's got so much torque, it's almost a rattle gun, and you just got to be careful because for this kind of stuff, it'll split that like it already has, but you got to be really careful with it. It's got way too much power for doing this kind of stuff. It's got to go really. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off because things getting wet. That's electric. That's crazy. Yeah. Righto. Just over there. Yeah, cool. You can see there's just no wind, so it's going to be stuck around for a while, I think. That's crazy. Whoa, there's some lightning. Yeah, it's getting further away. That's ages away. There he goes. My roof's actually sprung a leak just here. How much rain's coming down. There's not a lot of pitch on this roof. I knew that going into it when we first built it, but it's not really for heavy rain, but I don't care if it leaks. It's not like it's in the shed. Anyway, that's calmed down a bit now, so that's good. So that's all done with. That's done with. Don't need them. So it's literally now. Oh, one thing I do need to do, I almost forgot. So I'm going to use this double-sided tape to keep it on the sauna. It's all I can, if it's even going to stick, we'll see. Well, it's not promising. Oh no, that should be alright. Yep. I'm actually going to double this side up a little bit because the saw got away from me, and it's come down a little bit, only from about there like that. And I'll just put that'll bring it up. We might need one more. Yeah, might need one more. Just in the corner. Bit dodgy, but good enough for what we're doing. And the rest is pretty good. Oh yeah, and then I'll go over it again with that one. There we go. Nice. Okay, in business. Yeah, she's really humid today as well. It's meant it's like 28 degrees and quite humid. Alright, there's one done. This one's pretty flat except for this edge. But there's enough. It's not as bad as that one. There's enough in this tape here to take up the slack of that. Just double up the corner. Sounds like it's on top of us again. It keeps moving. The storm. A bit weird. Okay, that'll do. Obviously, if it's anything more than what I'm doing, you'd really want to seal little gaps up like that, because air's going to go through, but whatever. All good. Alright, let's go inside now. I can't really go inside though, because it is raining big time and I don't want to get wet. So I'll just clean up out here, I think. While I'm in here, might as well talk about this. So this has got to change, because I keep all my power tools just like that, just loose in there. But I've got to come up with a better way, because every time I go and grab something, like just now, the cables are all tied around each other. So I don't know what to do. I've tried tying them up tight to the machine, but it doesn't stay. So I think what I'm going to go do is, the only thing I can think of is get a heap of like Tupperware lunch boxes, cut a little relief out so the cable fits in it, roll the cable up and put it in the Tupperware lunchbox. So you end up with this kind of scenario, like that, and then get a Tupperware lunchbox, and that way you've just got a Tupperware lunchbox hanging off that. I could use a tie, but that's just a pain in the bum, and it's still going to get caught on things, where if it's in a square box, I think that might be the only way. Alright, I'm going to stop filming now, because this is getting really bad, and I'm pretty sure you won't be able to hear me. Okay, I'll just film doing the one speaker, because the other one's going to be exactly the same. This thing's out of gas though. That should be enough. No point filling them up, because they leak anyway, so I just put what I need in there. Otherwise, every time you go to use it, I don't use this one very often anyway. It's only if I'm doing stuff on the car, or like this, where I can't be bothered getting my electric soldering on. Alright, so it's pretty much just I am going to make the little panel for this, but that's not going to happen today, just due to the weather. So I will, like I said, just do one at a time. That's what I didn't bring, was heat shrink. I shouldn't need it. No, we will need it, yeah. Bugger. Alright. Back in a minute. Alright, back in business. Got the heat shrink, but I forgot my little heat gun, so I'm just going to use that. Not because I'm lazy, it's just it's pissing down outside. Right, so I'm going to leave enough cable just in case I want to. Well, that's plenty like that, because it's only got to go from that speaker, or even from the box to there. So I'll just leave a little bit of slack on it, and that'll be plenty then. I bought 5 meters of it, so use it for other things, and don't have to skimp on this one. Cheap enough, I think it was $1 a meter or something like that. And those little terminals are only $2 or something. Pretty reasonable. I won't solder the end that's going to go to the speaker box,
because if you solder it, it kind of doesn't really make a good connection because it's just sitting on the bumps on the solder, whereas if you leave it stripped wire, it kind of conforms a little bit better. So as long as you can see that, we're good to go, yeah. So literally put some solder on it. And that's it. Leaving that in because that's the bit that goes into the box. That's it. So if you get that much smoke coming off your iron, that means it's a bit hot because it's burning the flux really quick. Put 2 bits of heat shrink, and then I'm looking for purple and black, which is the one in my left hand. Yeah, that's got black on it. So we want the one with the white trace on it. I know it's black to white, but it's the trace is what you're after. Or just on one wire the trace is white, on the other wire the trace is black. Oh, see, so I don't know if you saw that, but it wasn't quite dry and I pulled it, and as I pulled it, it dried off and now it's stuck. But don't trust that, that's how you get a dry solder joint, so just redo it. And a dry solder joint, so you just want to hold it until it's solid and doesn't move and then dries. Yeah, so a dry solder joint, what'll happen is one day it'll just break. It'll just pop off because it didn't dry properly and it was kind of dry in the middle, not just dry on the outside, if you know what I mean. So same deal, if you saw that, I just put a little bit more solder on the iron, just so I've got a little puddle. Okay, so we get the heat shrink up there. This part's a lot quicker if you've got the proper gun, but I do have the proper gun, it's just in the shed and it's really raining, so bump it back up to really hot, and just it's got like a little exhaust there, you can see the orange, so there's a fair bit of heat coming out of that, and off it goes. That's plenty. Okay, so now that'll go to the box. We'll unsolder this one. So we're done with that wire now. Leave that there. And then we'll get as you're sitting in there, that's the right one. It doesn't matter. But I'll just grab that. It's just I called the boxes right and left, but just so I could get the lids in the right spot. But for this exercise, it makes no difference. But I'll just keep them. Might as well keep them there. Okay, same deal. Just try and, you might not be able to see. I'll try and do it here. It's really dark, so hopefully the video turns out alright. I've got my head torch thing on, but it's pretty much for me, not for you guys, but hopefully it works. It's not the brightest. Well, it's alright for me. It's just this camera is pretty hungry for light. So yeah, hopefully it works. Okay, so that one there that I'm holding has got the trace on it. So that'll go to this side. That's the thing about soldering, you gotta be comfortable as well in your position that you're doing it in. If you're soldering on a bench, it's alright, but soldering, like I've done soldering in my car, and you're upside down, and yeah, you can do it, but you've got to be able to hold that pose like that for a few seconds until it dries, otherwise you will get that dry solder joint. So yeah, you gotta make sure that
when you start doing it, start the joint, you've got enough stability to keep doing it. So now that's it. So we'll just go like that. Actually, what I'll do, I'll just clean this area up. That's a bit of that. I'll peel these off. This double-sided tape stuff. That's it. Now if I thought about that, I would have put the terminal on this side, because now I can't really get to it, but I can, but it's just tricky. So, and just to make sure, I'll strip a bit more off, like that much. A bit more on this one. Double them up, just so they're a bit thicker. Like that. And now I've got to see which one is negative. So that one is the one with the trace. So we'll just make sure we put that one in the black hole. Make sure that one goes in the red hole. Ah, wasn't too bad. Cool. Okay, easy as. Alright, I'll get on to the next one and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, all done, all tidied up. So I'll just fix these wires up. I just extended that wire for the switch so that it can actually hang down. You can reach it. You don't have to reach up here to turn the radio on anymore. But I am going to make that panel up. That'll come at a later date. The only other thing. So one problem I got. These speakers come up really nice. No dramas. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll put the camera right close. You're listening for like a hissing noise. Hopefully you can hear it. It's very faint, and when you're actually playing music or anything, you can't actually hear it. You can hear it if you really concentrate, but otherwise it's fine. I think what's happening is I'm getting power through here. This is distributing me the power, and I reckon there's some noise in there somewhere. Plus, I want this to be have a like a plug on it, and I don't have these plugs anymore. So what I'm going to do is put this plug on my side, because that's the plug you need to have on the dead side. And then I'm going to go in the shed. I'll grab another one of these ones, and this is the plug you have on the live side. And I've got a 12 volt transformer here. So what I'm going to do is bypass their power and use my own power supply and see if that fixes the problem. If that fixes the problem, that means there's a noise issue in here coming through the line. You can either fix it this way by putting another power supply in, or you can get a noise filter. So I may, just for ease, I may just get a noise filter. I'm not sure, because otherwise it's just another thing to plug in. I'd rather have everything running through this. So I may not even do anything about it, but I don't know. I'm going to see if I can fix it. I want to plug on there anyway. The only drama is it's hard to get to. So this is a project for a later day. I'm not doing it now. I'm just going to leave all this up here so I know that it's here ready to go. But yeah, it's a real bum to get to. I almost need to take this lid back off and take it down in the shed and do it. Just because I'm reaching way. There's no way I'm going to be able to solder. I could probably solder two wires together, but trying to solder that onto that is going to be difficult. So, but yeah, that's a problem for future me. I'm not going to worry about it now. I'm just going to try and enjoy this thing a little bit rather than keep modifying it. That's why I'm not going to bother about this panel just yet, because this can't really go anywhere. I'm going to try and find something just to prop up under here, so that way it can kind of sit nicely. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be it for now. I'll try and find some music and we'll put it on and see if it sounds any better. I haven't even tried it yet. I've just connected my phone to it and noticed that humming noise coming through. It was doing it before all this wiring, so and it was doing. And this is the main reason I was changing these speakers, because it was doing it through the original radio and speakers, but it was a lot worse. It was actually like a buzzing noise, and it was really annoying. And the louder you turn the volume up, the louder the buzzing got, so you couldn't get away from it, and it was really not very good. And that's why I've done all this. That was the main reason for doing this. It wasn't just to put 6x9s in a sauna. So yeah, so the noise that I've ended up with now is not a buzzing noise, it's a humming or a hissing noise, but it's very low and it doesn't get louder the louder you do the volume. It's just a constant volume. So if you got it up at a good listening volume, you can barely hear it. So that's why I'm not too fussed about it. But it's a good experiment just to see if that's what the drama is, the noise coming through there. These dogs, they sound like demons when they fight. Well, they're playing, they're not fighting, but yeah. Anyway, cool. I'll find some music and we'll give it a bash. Alright, not bad. That I just typed in royalty-free bass music and that came up. But yeah, sounds good. And you can't, like right now, no, you can't hear it, that hissing noise. And that's pretty low volume too, so you probably even have it higher than that. Obviously not that music. You can only hear it when you change songs. I just changed the song a couple times, and when that gap while you're changing songs and there's nothing playing, you can hear it. And then the song starts, you can't hear it. So all good. That's a win for me, I reckon. I reckon I'll leave it like that. Apart from mounting this, it'll look exactly like that. It'll just have a bit of wood around it like that, a little border, and that switch here. That switch will be mounted into the wood as well. Make it look nice, and that's it. I was thinking of mounting it into this, but it's quite thick. If you can see that there. It's a little bit too thick to mount into, and I don't want to really cut that up. So yeah, I might just so I'm thinking just leave it there and mount it into the wood so it's nice and solid, doesn't move around every time you touch it like that. Yeah. But anyway, another successful project. Cheers for watching. Have a good one. Catch you later.